The scruffy-haired little boy kicks. This one doesn't say anything, kicking the concrete.
Lily's our mum.
The stone kicker laughs suddenly. His head is too large. The other one laughs as well. Wow, so intellectually stimulating. The stone kicking isn't even of very high caliber.
You're stupid. Okay. Hello, mister. Yes, I am. Little Lily. You know my mom? That's nice. My mom is great. She's never angry or anything. Bye!
Is that the phasmid? Wait, what if this is the fishing rod situation all over again? Fine, it's not a phasmid. It's not even... There's some tear.
Hey, man, it's good to see you.
Goodbye, officer.
Yo, man, what's on your mind? They're hardcore. You know what I think? I think man, woman, and child are arbitrary divisions which serve to... They're just clothes. It's just a style, you know, normal hard style. Suspicious people are esoteric people. We don't go... It took us setting out for this whole enterprise to get our sign. It's short for paranoid. A reasonable question. Say I get hurt. I want to make sure it never happens again. So I analyse the situation. It'd be easier to list stuff I'm not suspicious of. I'm not suspicious of sound and colour.
This is a good, dangerous line of questioning. You should prod him on.
I don't have a top 10 list of things I'm most suspicious of, but if I had one, the left-right complex would be number 1. Number 2 would be mental illness is a term the powers use to homogenise people. I think I don't reach mental illness. I am merely politically ill, a suspicious element. I prefer not to. Both ask the wrong questions. Any spark of light from either one is accidental. Their combined movement's only concern is the original mistake was assuming that words have more being than bodies. That's what led us astray.
Whatever this true life is, you feel it's the real centerpiece of...
It's our only shit. We should make better use of not being animals or cereal brain ourselves. Yes, having food is means to an end, but the left never talks about the end, only the means.
His eyes flicker.
Dead body, spirit entered. What is there? That's right. The first settlers built it, plus 6 more like it. On the coast here, was alone on an uninhabited archipelago, forced to face themselves and nature.
He means something paranatural.
I would want to build a safe place for myself and my own as well. I don't say much anything as a carpenter anymore. They tried to make me into a reckoner. And 11, I regret the time I dedicated to that profession. And that worker collective. I say things more as, why? You're a cop. I carry carpentry. A cop who's into building critique. Okay then, this is folk DeLoreanism. Lawmongerer. It's a subset of a total. Everything between an ancient concrete cathedral and a glass cube is like that woman there. Vertical, thin, white, a false image of grandeur. The sort of this like to show off large and intricate structures, arches, spires, put you down with them. They were really into painting everything white too. Virginal shit, you know, marriage shit. Right. Stands to reason it used to be white on the outside, before the sea wind took all the paint.
Slowly, peeled by the wind, your skin crawls from the sensation as...
Dead bodies of perennial plants. Sigma functions have left this place. It's a good thing we came along. I saw some piglets suckling their dead mother. Have you heard this one, cop man? After a short while, they shuddered and went away. They had sensed that she could no longer see them, and that she wasn't like them anymore. What they loved in their mother weren't her body, but whatever. End of quote. This is an high-quality carcass. The power of anodic beats and a Sarais man who lived a long time ago, and it never was. A 3,000-year-old regime of history, built by...
The way he says it, the force in false court, is invested with 20...
I only said unity. One word. Figures of authority always misquote you. Andre doesn't care about the Ecclesiastes. He just wants the operation to run smoothly. And Egg is a demi-beast. You shouldn't listen, but were you wrong? The founding party is okay with everything.
That's still a lie. Reassert yourself.
Well...
Noid, man! Mellow out! Stop aggroing the law!
I'm sorry. Anodic dance music. Regular dance music wasn't hard enough. And yes, I do. The mass murderer. Why? Humanism leads to eating sugar and pigs. Humanism was invented to mass produce billions of humans.
And many, many more tons of sugar.
She liked games. Her legacy, the thing we live in, isn't real life. It's a strategy for some kind of victory against the long dead... Okay. Hard to say, cop man. Signs in here. I did get to talk to the crab man. Anyway, he's been giving me kind of a psychic rundown of this place. Dude's seen some crazy shit, but he's actually a lot like us. Have you been listening to what Egg's been saying? Love is hardcore, man. And the mother's love is the hardest core. The man picks up on stuff. And he knows a lot about... Good thing you didn't squash him. The Crabman's been lurking here for a while. He's experienced things. Things that give off bad signs. As far as we can tell, not like a literal sarcophagus. Encasement, confinement, of something they were afraid of. Something new and unheard of on the Isla. I think that's what the crab like. This is some old world shit Ubies had heard about. I thought the best way to deal with, I don't know. And it's not something they properly understood either. What it does. But it's what this Sona, it'll be fruitless though. She won't be able to measure it. People like that always want...
The wood creaks as a gale blows by, outside. Dust...
No. It's pretty fucking unsound if you ask me. Anodic music will definitely contain whatever, and if it can't, well... Seems to be the trend around here, doesn't it? You can't measure shit like this. It's not like... substance. Like a concentric ring spreading out. The struggling village, and that is what caused the communards to fail in defending the beachhead. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. It's not a thing we can answer. Maybe you can figure things out, Copman. Either life is true if it's free from fear, an eternal division among oneself, and others, mankind has seeds of greatness in it. A germinal will come, beats and bright lights to shatter falsehoods, nerve impulses for the collective body. We are very much alike in basic structure.
Just like that. The speed freak is right in your face. His eye.
Many non-Occidental cultures share a beat at their art. Thus, they are closer to true, hardcore life. Utmost dedication. Thoughts from the spinal cord. Egghead usually has a better concept of the hardcore. He just really
Hardcore!
Maybe you're being too specific about it. Try consulting with your spinal cord. Many non-Occidental cultures share a beat at their art. Thus, they are closer to true, hardcore life. There's just never been enough of them. Oh yeah, sure thing.
She's whistling a melody.
Hey there. I've been recording some new audio from all these beams and rafters, but that's not really what I wanted to talk about. For getting me and my friends in here. And we even found some new associates, such as Good, I think. Noid is getting a read on the place. I think he finds the carpentry very impressive. Andre's been setting up the Sauna, the programmer. She's doing whatever she does.
Yes, what is it? The swallow, you mean? What about it? Because it's just trial and error. Trying to locate the swallow, the exact... The offside copy you brought me helps, but... You know what? It would be great if you could just stop talking and let me work. Great. Thanks.
We're close. True, hard, full car. It's hardcore. Skibber-dee, skibber-danger. I am the rearranger.
Your cop training did not prepare you for this.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep... Not much. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean church. Some things just don't fly, officer. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years.
So, they don't hold services there anymore?
No, we've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. It's a pity. It used to be such a... Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex, or some kind of electrical plant. I don't know exactly. A pre-war place. It used to be something, before the war. Of note, the old fish market up on the boardwalk, but it's closed. No one. That's why it's closed. It was once a bustling place. Now, what catch we do bring in goes straight into a lorry for the Delta or something. What? You're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want a devil, used to be a supply depot, we think, sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jam shut though. With
Nothing is impossible.
And now you know everything there is to know about this coast. Just us. It's barely a village anymore. This is pretty much a non-place. A gap. A blank spot on the map. Just a cluster of... Over there you can find more of the same. Shacks and trees growing wild.
Between here and Jamrock, a dusty sea of old trees.
An old military hospital and its surroundings. Or it used to be. After the war, it was turned into a Goodwill hospital for shell-shock veterans. Now the area is crisscrossed with nameless streets. And makeshift, the Goodwill ran out. The staff left and the place was shut down. Well, there's Lillian and her kids. A few new folks live in the house to the east. And then there's the drunks. Not a pretty sight, but there's... Lillian is tough. Tougher than the men here, at least. If it wasn't for her, I'm sure you did. Nature keeps them in rotation. A new face pops up here for you? No, officer. The only money we have here is some coins the drunks try hiding from them.
Under carts, boats, in little boxes. It's not hard to find. She nods, rinse.
Waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down. Simmer down, bastards.
The worn and beaten...
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's...
You can revisit the bench.
There's nothing else.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
I have really helped.
Yes, that's what you need, Gaston. More power.
Honey, it's a little pleasures. Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day? I'm sorry, officer, but I really don't share food.
The only one you have.
Believe me, officer, I wish I could help you, but I need this sandwich to keep my blood sugar stable. In my age, you need to pay attention to these things. Fuck off! It's mine!
A glimmer of respect flashes in Rene's eyes.
Sorry, officer. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it in a bad way. But the sandwich is mine.
And it's gone.
When the dissidents come to rape our country, he hides. But try to get a bite of his dear sandwich and he gets close? We are a special kind of vermin, Gaston.
A man so principled about his sandwich calls for a principled approach. You really do. Now, unleash the fury.
What the hell are you talking about? What foreign anarchist?
No time to bring him in. Just keep your eyes on the prize and
I don't think that's gonna happen. Why would you even?
He won't kill. As long as there's food in his fat belly, he'll lick any...
Good. Rene's on board too. Time to take back the streets. Right-wing populism. Here we come.
Now you are talking sense, son. All four of us working as a group. We can make...
Whatever you're selling there, he's buying it.
I'm actually already a member in a group tasked to keep the streets safe. You are too. We call ourselves the police.
What do you mean, officer?
Ignore him. You are addressing the entire group now.
Agreed. What about the whole group? I propose a pair de la corne, swords of the crown, in honor of my old unit. It's dignified. We need dignity.
His tone leaves no room for arguments. Giving orders is...
All right, all right. I have a bad feeling about this. Oh, you went through all that trouble for my sandwich. I'm flattered, officer, but my answer is no. Now, how else can I help you? Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week. No, officers, I'm sorry.
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with you.
He means caviar socialists.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything.
Odd. He doesn't seem to be lying.
I'm not even anyone.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of union prick he can't even speak proper.
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? I'm not anyone important in the union. Everyone in Martinez knows the Clare brothers.
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history. Only heard about it years.
The old soldier mumbles something under his breath.
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
Lest we leave riddled with bullet holes. This animal...
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties. Help with... Not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote or a membership card. But...
So that's what it was before. Him hiding something. He tries to make it... He doesn't know anything. Because no...
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I knew that. I hate the socialist rabble. But even siding with them is better than living your entire life on the fence.
Writing work mostly. Occasionally? Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just...
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda, plain and simple. You should be a...
That's just the way things work around here. No reason to feel bad. I don't even consider myself a regular socialist. Politics is not really some... Officer, I have a vivid imagination.
He just fluffs it up.
Of course. Don't sink into anything. Don't sink into any fight. Only...
I prefer highly adaptable myself.
Mon Dieu.
No, thank you. for being consumed. Oh, sweet Jenny. She was the finest woman in all of...
Do not defile her memory, Gaston. Let her...
His tone lacks its usual intensity, like he doesn't feel he has to...
We knew her, all right. Lived on the same street our entire lives, just to how she was René's first girl, back when the prick was 16. They were caught in...
And then you stole her from me.
Well, technically, you stole her from me, because we'd been pretty close ever since you two...
We were just boys then. This was different. No point starting this all over again. For the 1000th and the first time.
She died of pneumonia 2 winters ago. It was a quiet passage. René and I were both by her bedside when she...
Died. No use sugarcoating it. Won't bring her back.
Departed. Until the very end she couldn't decide between us. The most
A quick grimace of pain passes over René's features, but he immediately...
She could never make up her mind about anything. What to have for breakfast, favorite color... Oh, she was always leaving one of us for the other, but never long enough to actually get married. Heck, technically, we're both still engaged to her.
You always confused her. Couldn't let us be happy. So...
He suddenly remembers you are still...
Of course, officer. Memories are all we have left.
It's clear you like the hard stuff, Brota. Lower intestine? The term is metabolic and fascism, Brota. You're going to keep your views, right? Keep your views, Brota. For the nation, smart. Best not to mention the woman issue too often. People are not ready. Of course you are, Bruta. Of course.
Hello, sir. How is the investigation going? Found any Oh, that's great! I hope exciting adventures lie ahead. And maybe you can help Mother become...
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
By love, you did.
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. What can I help you with, Lieutenant Freighter?
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
I don't believe it. I've never known those boys to have manners. They'll never be skulls, but their hearts are in the right place. Fat chance. But you can still do your part to revitalize the neighborhood.
She throws you a conspiratorial glance.
Have you noticed the quiet? Every so often, this place is a sepulchre. We'll paint it red.
She's making a valiant effort to come off as a nihilist, but she's really just an angry little commie. No wonder
You got me, pig shit. I don't make for a very good skull.
But I'm still gonna write some damn good graffiti-o on this wall.
The lieutenant is desperately searching for another handkerchief. Hatred, disgust. It's difficult to tell which of the woman on the boat does not know.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her. on a first-name basis with her, are we? It's where they grow whores like her. Have you got a crush on her? Aching for an opportunity to defend her honor.
This door is made of metal, and no one answers.
Let's go. There's nothing to do here for us. Yes? What about me? That's correct.
That makes him a Beano-clad, completely uncopped material.
Are they? They are mostly just cumbersome.
You could use a good, normal pair yourself.
No.
The lieutenant nods.
Good. Let...
The worn and beaten.
We can sit on benches after.
You can revisit the bench.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? It will take just a moment.
Her voices fade out.
Gottlieb, what you get yourself into this time? I didn't, but now I do. How's the drinking going? Great. Have a medal. I have an autopsy to attend to. An autopsy.
Fucking, I'm not dead. It just hurts, okay?
Anything else I can help you with, officer? Right.
10-4, come in. Fireworker. Roger that. 10-10, over.
Oh, look. It's the cop who turned me. It's like, whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up.
Going on strike would probably help you dodge a bullet or two.
Maybe you should. Cops don't get paid much and the hours are long. Plus, you can get shot.
The RCM is a self-managing organization that operates on donations. We promote our own leaders. It would be like striking against your own mother. Okay, but do continue. You were asking about the strike?
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like a strike negotiator type. They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
He doesn't blame them. but he's not on their side.
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. Us lorry drivers, camionneurs, you still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get... Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days.
The woman is still hunched over the railing.
Right to work!
We were promised work. We'd be in there.
The physically impressive man tower has...
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
Your race descent has temporarily halted, but you will fall again. Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this.
There must be some friction there. He's keeping it well hidden, however.
Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Of course you are, Revacholian man. The failure of communism to challenge the world above all. Rampant multinational finance still reigning large. Tell me, where have you gotten your love of pet? Stop explaining yourself. No one cares about your beliefs. The conversation has moved on. Tell me, what degenerate subculture has made you dress in this? Rock and roll is moribund. Only Koikos listen to it anymore. There is no... I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory. I can see that. The Simonees are the South Island race. We are the future. That is... I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulimbuir are with me in my genetic... No. I have heard about it.
He would be appreciative if you did not further chase this line of inquiry in front of the women.
I'm from Couronne. And no, it is not just in Revachol. You have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for
I think this racist is better than the last. But the next racist will be too. There always is.
Race is reality. I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition...
You pick up on something artificial in his tone. Like he's putting on an act.
The hardy manlets are on the pay of the company. I answer to... Now leave me be. I must luxuriate in the company of my woman. Fine. They have recently... Find out for yourself.
Interesting.
Racists are generally not very good examples of them. I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken... You exhibit forward projection of the jaw, indicative of schizophrenia and sexual inaccountability. It is impossible to see any more of your bone structure. It is covered in the ravages of Al-Hul. From what remain of your feet, this leads me to conclude you are not a police officer.
You are a common criminal. An offspring of your racial heritage is uninteresting. It is the same as all Rivasholians. Your parents and their parents made the decision.
The file cabinet stands steady. The drawer slides shut. You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened. Trails you. A beacon of light emerges from deep within you. The door stands silent.
Satisfied, detective?
Try again. Just like that, you hear a click, then a rattle.
Ahoy! Come on in!
You can't be serious.
Stands at the far end of the shipping container. It's hard to say anything more about him. The feeling causes all the hairs on your body to stand at attention, like soldiers preparing for review. Something's amiss. The light beams bend around his face and scatter. In trying to visualize the physics at play is liable to give you an aneurysm. In the general stillness, only your tongue moves, flickering.
Welcome. Come in. Make yourself at home. Sorry, I'm not better able to...
You can't hear him exactly, yet you're able to understand.
Now, what can I do for you, gentlemen? Who am I? Oh, I haven't been asked that question for such a... Anyhow, my name is Rustam Theodore. Investor.
Mr. Diodor, I am Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi of the RCM, and this is my partner.
Pleasure to meet you, Raphael. I'm surprised in a positive manner to understand about your exceed...
It is not. Never mind.
Oh, don't you worry, Lieutenant. I can tell a good man when I see one.
Oh Lord, not this again. Oh, nothing. It's just that we've got this murder to solve, and yet you go around asking everyone about money. And every time I ask, are you sure this is related to the case, you say, sure, Kim, I think it is. And yet, it never seems to get us any closer to solving the case.
It's quite alright. I'm used to the question by now. To be blunt, I inherited my fortune. All I did was take her fortune and invest it prudently. Believe it or not, it takes more than a bit of skill not to blow a vast...
Actually, at the level this guy is, it takes several generations to do that.
I gotta tell you, at first, being rich is a lot of work. You've got to work hard because everything's... But then, once you've reached my position, it's nearly impossible for me not to make money. My assets are so... Some of my lower net worth friends say to me, but doesn't that take all the fun out of it? And I tell them, not really. Sure, and they benefit when I buy things to stimulate the economy. Do you know how many dozens, at least? Of course, in the future, it'll all be automated. But my point is every man gets what he earns. It is truly. It's almost entirely carefree.
Hey, all this talk about money has made you lose the thread. What is going on with the light in the...
What do you mean? Are you talking about my chin? Oh, That's what you mean. Yes, I've heard of this effect, though I've never... It's some statistical thing. In essence, it says that when an extremely low net worth individual, among other things, but calm down, I'm but a lowly single-digit billion... No, not really. They're actually...
A man this chill is at least a triple-digit billion.
I see nothing of the sort. To be frank, all I see is a gentleman who's unusually well dressed for Martinez, in a cargo.
Yes, I imagine that does look strange to you. Traveling. This is a great way to get around. It's fun. It's... By the way, let me now ask you a question. Where are we exactly? Was it Krasmazov that said, religion? He may have been a commoner, but we're in agreement about that. It's a shame I can't get out and explore myself. One of the downsides of being an extremely high net worth individual, there simply aren't enough hours a day to hand out all the handouts. It's like feeding seagulls. They're always more, and they never seem... Spending money is a matter of desire. I'm sure you agree. I don't have that smart, you know? It also provides a means to hide from all the targeted luxury yachts, high-fidelity portable radio systems, fail-proof outerwear, and so on. It just gets a bit... What? No, I didn't say that at all. Being rich is great. Just don't tell anyone I told you that.
Could you please stop asking everyone for money? It does not reflect well on the RCM, and to be perfectly frank, we can't afford to look worse than we already do.
It's perfectly alright. Based on your appearance, I can tell I'm dealing with... As you may know, us high net worth individuals don't have a lot of cash on hand. Investments and liquidity, here is 3 real. How much can you get for this? Yes, I'm sure. You know, maybe you can make that money grow. Come up with an investment plan.
These ultra-liberal types love losing huge sums of money on ludicrous proposals. Ergo, you should come up with a plan that's totally dead in the water.
Thanks for stopping by. If you ever have an idea...
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time. Mega rich light-bending guy? Oh my god, how did that get in there? Damn it to hell, Harry. I specifically told my guys to check all the containers for mega rich light-bending guys. Honestly, Harry, we might be moving a spot of drugs through this harbour, but I won't be caught transporting the light-bending mega rich. I have a reputation to protect. No, they're not. They're vermin, and one just found a way inside my container. Soon, he'll bring the others. All 3 of them. I shudder to think what you're going to tell me next, Harry.
Not for 1 second did he believe there's an actual mega-rich person somewhere in his container town.
Hey, mister, I'm not gonna bother you with a long greeting. Follow that one. That should be empty as...
Told you.
for you. Welcome back, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
Why does art inspire you so much? Is it, yet your eye constantly seeks out them? In short, art is the highest form of human. Have you looked in the mirror lately? To be honest, you have the exact features of the modern artist, with that wild hair and those clothes. Perhaps you should try to write poetry someday. Yes, you seek substance. No vapid representations and reproductions of social mores as made manifest in stuffy biennials. We're talking real, living art here. Become the art cop. Bravo. Continue. Then, the...
Hola, wandering man.
Does Kuno care? Fucking right, pig. Kuno's filling bathtubs with that shit. Don't be yanking your shit in front of the Kuno. Kuno's always serious.
Belying the act. He's actually telling the truth. Or at least 0 point. We need to befriend him first.
Kuno? You wanna shoot that shit at Kuno, pig-o-naught? The fuck do you want with it? It's a vitamin, pig. Don't you know anything?
You could use some.
Okay, whatever. You fucking need that.
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno. He's gonna use it against you, Kuno.
You're not getting this, pig. It completely takes away the hangover. It's like you...
Fuck you, pig. Don't do mag. You're gonna OD and you're gonna fucking die.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you want with it? Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't fuck...
I'll die before I squeal, pig. I come from the woods, good Davidu.
You don't be traumatizing here. Get the fuck out of...
I'll die before I... What's this kid shit? Fucking mind games.
Get the fuck out of here, face. You got...
So it's a girl. Interesting.
I'll die before I squeal, pig. You don't want to fuck with me. I got my hands bloody.
You can still see the top of her hat from behind the... Well, hello. Someone seems to have... Light reflects off the green glass of the Commodore red. Wow, the gods of mass production have made this alcohol container. Fine. We're not worried. You'll crawl back to this bottle soon enough. Yes, it's merciful that way.
You've passed up your chance to start drinking alcohol for now. But don't worry. The option to...
Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno doesn't fucking...
The face of King Fleecell smiles at you. Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's... But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we only 4 issues in, and it's sad. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics...
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the mess. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bear wrestling. Flip back to... It seems to be part of a new public fitness initiative in the People's Republic of Samara. According to this extremely credulous account, Uncle Sport, as he's affectionately known to his... Based on the description in this article, he appears to be an extremely It's quite straightforward. A standard match features one man, or in some cases, woman. Again, according to the SRV's Ministry of Information, the program, this is the SRV we're talking about. If you think those are the real numbers, precisely, for too long, drink has been a scourge to the working class.
The Samaran People's Republic? No, I should expect not. Why do you ask? They're quite the spectacle, as I understand. I've heard they make the people in the front rows where, on account of the blood, you see.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunz, why they decided to title this one section, it evokes a sense of recognition and fellowship. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled, "This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A." That certainly sounds like a certain delinquent youth. The actual article is surprisingly light on details, but after skimming, if you don't follow it, you only ever hear about the ludicrous sponsorships, and you think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season. Maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdote. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the... Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercial, so all of it, basically. And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it at the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're sure. You think that, but subconsciously, it's the visions of brand names. That's because you haven't been reading critically. But don't worry. The whole point of these...
Oh, come on. Can this article read your mind? A certain kind of young man reads 1 or 2 books and suddenly thinks he understands the secret structures of reality. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The tape, unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with art. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinet. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Cape Side apartments. Ah, this must be Gaston's handiwork. The eternal problem, according to G. Martin, is that thus they tend to experience their own oppression as though is that true? Have you felt estranged? You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. An intricate web of blue lines. It still kind of looks like a map of the stars. It's for you to discover. You've gotten as far as someone close to the victim might know. Gone. The bullet is safely beside his orderly handwriting. The bullet looks especially sad. The squashed bullet has some sharp edges where the jacket has split open.
What? Well, if I was the bullet, which I'm not, I would say, find the weapon that shot me. If we find who owns it, we will have likely found who you... In conclusion, the more we know about this bullet of yours, the better.
The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish metal. It has blossomed out to you can just about make out a few striations near the base of the bullet. It's quite destroyed. Some of the fragments are...
What can you say about the bullet so far? A jacketed bullet. Okay. It would have been shot from a military-grade breech. Even the RCM uses ordinary unjacketed conical bullets. This is strange. Very strange. I like this, officer. Strange means unique.
Something tells you that won't be anytime soon. This'll have to be one of those epic tasks that's open for a while. A rifle. Revolutionary period. Your bullet... The 4.46 caliber was widely used with the Belmargrave rifle. Incidentally, you have just such a rifle with you. The dusty old thing you found hidden in the basement below. No, but Zeliger, a major firearm manufacturer, ended up with a surplus after the war. Antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky jamrock bangers.
What are you thinking? Bullet? Okay. And? An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around in Martinez. Sure, there's some arms trafficking, but the laws prohibiting the use of breech loaders. Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzle loaders once they've trained with military-grade weapons. But imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. After the first shot. But back to the investigation. It doesn't seem that likely, but we'll check out all possible leads. Next.
Well, hello. Someone seems to have found himself a bottle of alcohol. Oh, no, you don't. Not this one. The light reflects off the green glass of the Commodore red. Wow. The gods of mass production have made this out fine. We're not worried. Yes, it's merciful that way.
You've passed up your chance to start...
Hello again. How can I help you? Of course. It's in working order still, isn't it? Just pick your tape and set it spinning. It all starts with the tape. Sure thing. My apologies, officer, but I have...
A needle in a haystack.
Sure, man.
The portal reel is just what you needed. You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before it sounds like someone's moving in the room, getting comfortable. Then the orc telling you about the tiniest church in Cessons, surrounded by even tinier yard. Within seconds you know, this is the one. The real shit you've been looking at. A click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops. Of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this. Yup, they're all here. All 3 verses. And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is Gart. You have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. After you've won him over, you can express yourself. The lieutenant looks at you as you remove the tape from the...
Hey, was there something you needed? No, you don't. It's not happening.
You need to approach this situation logically. Ask him why he has the PA system installed if you can't use it.
By causing more trouble? I think we're good. The whirling doesn't need more sad style. That's one of the styles it can do without right now. It's for no one. It's a prop. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of '44. Okay, yes, it's for some clients. Ha! Well, we don't have any tapes. They all got...
He's lying. But whatever, you don't really need his lame tracks. The man in the vest and the violet shirt stares at the tape. This is the look of a man who's defeated.
Fine. Climb on that stage and do your thing. Just get out of my head.
Oh yeah, time to do the damage. The stage is all set up for your performance. You feel a little dizzy, a little unsteady suddenly.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
I can see that.
Immediately, a loud feedback noise startles the room. You feel like hands. Where do you put your hands? There are some people out there, but mostly a post-meridian slumber has fallen on the premise. Not super lively. It would be wiser to perform in the evening, no? But the choice is yours. The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you...
Speak Revacholian? We speak Suren. There is no such thing as the Revacholian.
The cook is still smoking, ash falling from between his...
Good thing he didn't understand a word of your stupidity.
You see a heavy steel door. The door doesn't... upstairs. A ceiling height window. There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside. Nothing. Just black tangles like the hair of an old woman. The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring a small mountain of colorful board.
Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for Braubritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while.
Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family? Are you actually friends? Or just colleagues thrown together by circumstance?
Then you're a lucky man, officer. Children are the greatest of treasures. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a lousy auras there. No, role-playing games are popular. I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts.
An endless variety of source books. Law. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art. Books in a board game section. Who wants to read books? There's a box that says Wirral 3rd edition mega setting supplement. That price is steep, but then it's the 3rd edition mega setting nonsense for anemic Beano clods. Several maps. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of the north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Huron. It's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is. No, Coal City is worse. A chart. It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged...
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. That old thing. It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place...
The place does not look like a successful tourist trap, does it?
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martin.
Several maps. The maps look old and faded. You peek at the storekeep. Waiting. You're now the proud owner of a map of Martinez. This bookstore is not strictly about crime.
Sir, please, no browsing in that shelf. That way, I can't have you end up, like, opening a police...
Amidst the various books, you find one written by... These three things are very important to the point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people, but it serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people... Wholeness, unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care when it's up to your mind to heal yourself. Then the book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. There's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gallbladder preservatives to treat and prevent. This is just mundane garbage. What's even paranatural about this? The throbbing in your head increases with every pass. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes... The book contains very little explanation on the matter. The book contains descriptions of various pseudo-scientific therapies. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body. Even better if you can find someone else, preferably a large man dressed in nothing but a towel, to thrash you. It is, and good for the circulation too. It also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the past. Among other benefits, it is alleged to restore a damaged liver to perfect health. That seems improbable. For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged to take regular strolls. These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries and the body of toxins, especially if the perambulator. This is exactly what you need. There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their marital.
Excuse me, sir. I believe you've been perusing that particular volume long enough. If you'd like to continue reading, I must insist you buy it.
The worn map features the patchwork. Your finger moves through the various streets, finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the Map tab.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart.
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crime. You're a police officer, apparently. Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance. Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Why'd you stop? Don't you feel compelled? Go. Everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself.
She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved.
Okay, but please, only a few questions. You wouldn't want the curse. It's so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease. It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin.
Didn't that curtain just move?
It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supernatural here. It's the Kakadi. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie, lingering presence. Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists, and even a pair of the wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building. Even though now Oh, this! No, it's a special Himian amulet. Blessed by desert pig. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with it.
Desert pygmy shamans. That sounds like a...
Yes, the Simonese are very crafty, and their wards are extremely powerful. It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail. The negative...
Wow. Void raves. Such raves may prove a formidable enemy. Suit up. The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die? How did I become one? Some of my friends were role players. They asked. I've grown crafty over the years. You'll like your dice if you get them from me. Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. What do you mean by cursed? Alright, how about I surprise you? Come back in 8 hours with 7 real, and I'll give you your cursed die. Maybe you have some other ideas for dice? A star that fell from the firmament? Those cost more than 7 real. Are you sure? Alright, maybe some other die then? How about an amber die? Alright, maybe some other die then? Ah, yes, fortress accident. It's to the Wiro untethered die is a variation of a standard role-playing.
Ice, death, loss.
I'm thinking something made from alligator jawbone, cast in black resin. The reptile bone is as white as ice, and then... Great, see you in 8 hours then. Was there anything else? I'm listening. It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club. A community project created to... Kuno. Who's Kuno? Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth. Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard. I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid. It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching...
It's not really full of that. No one would store their drugs like that.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he... Anything else? Oh, this one's a mess. Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front, and they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's a sub-Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Some people pay good money to get off on it.
Nothing changes in her tone as she says that.
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-Roses. This isn't our problem.
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. The atelier produced a certain collection that used chitin among the material. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection. Actually, insects do have brains, but yes, I understand what you're saying. I think the protesters took it...
As she shifts around, you notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front.
Anything else? They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or... Sure, it's illegal, but it's not exactly anything extraordinary in business. Besides Slipstream...
They were just props. Why return them? Maybe you could make a sword out of one. No.
I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work. That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless. You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta...
If the whirling is part of the same building, then it's part of the
Right. It used to be a gaming arcade. This is an ancient failure. Before my advice, don't base your business on a fad. Hypnotism, floreo...
Agreed. Pinball is the worst.
Sure, I'm listening. It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club. A community, a kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he won. It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse.
It's not really full of that. No one would store their drugs like that.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went back. Good. I hope it clarified.
Your flashlight slides. Some of the writing has... This old fireplace is... The whole thing resembles Kadran Mo's history classes. Students with their textbooks open.
does Kuno care? The fuck do you want with it? Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape.
What?
What is this shit? Fucking on yourself. This is weird level shit.
Fuck your shit back to normal. What is this?
Well played. No one saw that coming.
It's a vitamin pig? Don't you know anything?
You could use some.
Yeah, it's the mag. You fucking...
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno! He's gonna use it against you, Kuno!
You're not getting this pig. It completely takes away the hangover.
Fuck you, pig! Don't do mag! You're gonna OD and you're gonna fucking die!
It's a vitamin pig? Don't you know anything?
You could use some.
Okay, whatever. You fucking need that shit to stay on top of your game.
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno! He's gonna use it against you, Kuno!
You're not getting this pig. It completely takes away the hangover.
Fuck you, pig! Don't do mag! You're gonna OD and you're gonna fucking die!
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. Kuno doesn't fucking...
Again? I can't believe this shit.
I'm going to say no. Just to see what you'll say to that. What'd you say? God fucking shit.
Okay, I was clearly wrong. He is a firefighter, male nurse, and...
Yes? What is it?
God damn it, you leave her alone. Keep your weird bullshit to yourself and be professional for once.
Can I actually help you with something?
Yes, of course. Preposterous.
Of course I'm with him. Why do you ask?
You're an asshole. You know what? Maybe we're both assholes.
Please, let's not turn this into another exchange. Of course I'm with him. Oh, what? No. No, he's not. Actually, never mind. Don't tell me about it.
Wackathon? Shit show? 5-machine pylon?
Of course I'm with him.
Well, he's not. He's a sack of shit barely kept together by crazy glue. But at least he tries, unlike you.
Please, let's not turn this into another exchange, okay? Of course I'm with him. What?
And you look like you don't bathe, on principle.
Please, let's not turn this into another exchange, okay? Of course I'm with him. The sooner you figure this hanging out...
Hello, officer. I think I almost have it. Hell no. I had no idea. And I'm still...
I don't know what got into him, officer. Thank you.
I've just always liked animals. And...
He seems reluctant to talk about himself, but he'll open up.
Real. I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Indeed. My methods do not differ from other scientists.
Your nerve endings tell you there is no such thing as a positive support.
Agreed. Yet there is always a chance, albeit a small one, of a true... No, as I said, I have yet...
Interesting. Something for later, this close call.
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts.
He's interested in things that people believe that scientists...
Most establishment scientists only care about reputation. And no, very few cryptids are ever discovered. And not for a of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemney, which is 4,082 items. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest, yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves, more so even than the public. With cryptids, most crypt indeed. If our expedition is successful, every...
The hair on your arms stand up. Electricity. He has clearly done his math on this.
Yes? All right.
We would have to discuss. He wants to say, but besides...
A willow person. It's a long story.
Willow people? Not at all.
They're not people, really. Some argue they aren't really animals, as they seem to have evolved directly from... They're very, very thin, almost flat in fact, and can camouflage themselves easily. You probably have. Gary and I painted an entire grove's worth of trees in slow-drying paint. It was a bright lavender colour. After waiting in hiding for hours, I saw a figure slip from one of the trees, a lavender shadow, dashing through the grass. I chased it with a net. Not very elegant. You can't be elegant in the...
A lavender shadow.
I know you think we were snacking on funny mushrooms. It's easier to mock someone than to admit furthermore. I'm not saying it was a confirmed sighting. I'm painfully aware of what goes into verifying such...
He makes it a real point here to sound falsifiable.
Confirmed. It's 100% verified and meets all the standards of an...
The woman nods thoughtfully, while her hands smooth. There is some uncertainty in that motion, no?
No offense, officer, but I'm not much of a pedagogue. I don't know what I would have done. Me? I'm not a people person, unless you haven't noticed.
Oh, anytime, just ask. I know those critters in...
By all means.
Oh, hello, sweetie. So nice to see you again.
There's really no point in manipulating anyone.
Oh, I'd be delighted. No, it's the cryptid. Oh, yes. The eight-eyed teratorn, the largest flying avian ever discovered.
Mutation. All of evolution.
Until it was sighted by renowned Gotvaldian explorer and naturalist. It happened on a botanical expedition into the vast and unexplored Oamrau Canyon in southeast Ilmara, the world's largest canyon system, sweetie. It's a barren waste east of the Erg Desert. Alone in the blasted desert heat, the doctor wandered eastward, where he was lost without any navigation equipment and desperately low on water. After every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal carcass somewhere on the horizon. Yes, or rather, hunting. A bird that big has a lot of blood in it, and he was dying of thirst. For me, the professor climbed up there with a rock in his hand. He found the bird sleeping with his head tucked under its...
Watch out!
Then, the teratorn suddenly looked at him. He could see it had 8 eyes, 4 on either side of its skull, like a spider. And the man, the bird, was controlling his mind. It kept him from approaching. He could step back, but every time... Absolutely, sweetie. Cryptozoologists have been tracing it ever since, but Wamrao is...
Modern radar telemetry shows great promise.
This one I liked. Not only does it have 8 eyes, and is a living fossil, and the largest bird ever to live, it also...
He's sincere. He likes the audacity of it.
Sadly, yes. But there are numerous reports of 8-eyed bird skulls from Ilmara. And then there's the strike...
Not really. It's just stylization. The way they drew up.
Very, very hard.
This one's very famous. Everyone knows it. That would be the giant of Kokonur. The giant lives in the most arid parts of the vast Kokonur desert. A mirage or a psychogenous luminance. No one knows for sure. It is like an awful mountain appearing from below. The towering luminosity of Kokonur is a bad omen in local folklore. So
Hooey. No animal can be that.
that's what makes it so peculiar. There are limits, you see, to how large a metabolism an ecosystem can beget. Some say a gravity anomaly below the cocon.
Great. This is great shit. You need gravity anomaly. Dig in it. Dig in.
Cryobacter catlensis. Yes, a unicellular bacterium that was discovered in one of the northernmost points of Kotla. Bacterial colony Mijanu found had remained alive while frozen in ice for long. Mijanu disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the Yes, the bacteria had survived in the ice since times
It's actually a little hard to see.
Yes, and she's quite mad too. After she treated herself with the bacteria, she stopped aging, but also became increased. We can assume that she has been living somewhere in the wilderness for decades now. What an interesting question.
Of course. All fairy tales have someone or something invisible in them. Okay, I won't spoil your fun. What is the invisible cryptid?
It's the Koldamama Dakwa. Its name means thin whisper of sound, and that's precisely what it is. Self-replicating sound waves, invisible and intangible. The Koldamama, it could be. As I said, it could be everywhere. And we wouldn't know any better. It could be ringing all the days of plenty. It's the evidence that led to its discovery. In the 20s, a group of Areopagite ornithologists, that is, scientists who studied, when playing back recordings they had made in the foothills of the Ea mountain range, they noticed certain anomalies. The scientists soon discovered they could track and even predict what appeared to be feeding, mating, and migration patterns based on sound.
She transforms when speaking about these strange animals.
They realized that they had discovered a new species and called it the Koldam. They grew quite obsessed with these little birds. Even though they couldn't see them. Sequester, Time, Joscan, those are but some of the Mamadakwa they follow. Like nothing, it's such a high-pitched sound that us humans can't hear it, nor can other animals. It could be ringing right outside your window and...
Fine, I'll bite. How can an animal be a sound?
Many scientists have asked the same question. Some have claimed that it isn't itself a sound, but a tiny corpuscle that emits sound waves. But there's no evidence to support this theory. That is a sad story. A group of university students assisting with the field work in their enthusiasm for the project, and no doubt because they tried to communicate with it and had no other means but sound. So they started sending out sound waves.
This lady really should be a teacher. She's really good at the
Exactly. And these tests were performed so recklessly that when they happened after that, the corpuscle appears to have migrated elsewhere. There have been recordings of...
Of course. A common thread in these. Disappearance and unfold...
I'm glad you did, dear. What about what? The gnome of Jeroma. Oh, yes. None of its victims survived. Grieving relatives never even... It was, reportedly, a small creature with webbed fingers. A couple of campers found it when it was already dying. They heard an odd wave. It still took the gnome of Jeroma. And
if the body of the creature was found, why aren't there detailed illustrations of it in science textbooks?
alas, the first scientist who got his hands on the creature's corpse put it in it instead. All the venom leaked out of the creature's teeth and into the surrounding liquid, dissolving the...
Alas, always alas, and then it was gone.
I understand your skepticism, but that's what happens with things that are rare and stand out. Of course, dear. Oh, yes. A zoologist.
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize...
That's one opinion, yes.
My apologies, ma'am. I didn't...
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless. Oh, you don't want to hear about
Ramblings. Nonsense. You're
Darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe.
That is a way bigger compliment than it's. Reflexively, the lieutenant Redis is familiar.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand. I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5, the strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a star. I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water.
Where did you go? Don't go.
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at for years. It was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most deep.
So that's how they met. This is
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white. Like if it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith. Not all of them. There is some white coloration.
Our first, yes.
The glance is tender, yes.
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself.
How could she? Who imagines this?
So she couldn't have made it up.
That's true, yes. I'm almost certain neither, Mom. You trying to tell us you saw the Insul Indian Fest mid out?
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a walk.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to
You know, to hell with it. Let's...
Of course, officers. Of course.
The stage is all... You feel a little dizzy.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke.
The air is thick with, and the tape clicks into the carousel, and then the music starts.
I would often go there, to the tiny church there, the smallest church in San, though it once was larger. How the realm may rest there, down through the mist there, toward the Seven Sisters, toward those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there, in their tiny yard there. I have been so glad here, looking forward to the past here. But now, you are all alone. None of this matters. No, none of this matters at all.
Not bad.
Yes, not bad at all.
Okay, yes. I'm going to unplug them.
Was that? Could it be the Mama Dakwa? No, it's probably... There seems to be an extremely high-pitched ring. Lena also said that it couldn't be heard by any other animal, including... There it is again. You're about to rediscover a... It must be very close. Maybe. What are you doing? You're a police officer, not a pansy ornithologist.
No, I don't hear the call.
Of course he doesn't. He's deaf. Oh no. The sound. It's moving away. No. Too late. It's gone. There is no ringing anymore. Just the sound of the streets. Keep your ears peeled, then. If the species really has migrated to Martinez, you're sure to hear it again.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die? I'm sorry. I'm a bit overloaded just now, so I can only produce one die per customer.
The purity of snow always reminds me of... There's nothing for you to understand here. It is not heard if you are investigating. I was 22 when I returned from King Guillaume's Akira operation in the south. I won her back. But while I was dealing with some...
You were like a dark cloud sucking the joy out of every living thing around you. And...
Dark cloud? That's...
Those days and memories are gone.
The old soldier says nothing, but when his glance quickly runs over Gaston's face, there's an odd look in his eyes. All the old boom.
If you don't mind, please put the flashlight away?
Photonic sensitivity is not generally acknowledged by the medical establishment.
Put the flashlight away, officer.
Hello again. How can I help you? The Coldima Madakwa? Sorry, I would never have guessed that you were that interested in ultrasonic sounds. Or birds, for that matter. Oh, I didn't mean to imply otherwise. But it's been a while since I once knew a group of young musicians who decided they didn't want to play music anymore. Cool or not, one of them was obsessed with recording the Coldima Madakwa. And he was one of... We thought we did. We got together all these recordings of unusual sound patterns. That really wasn't the point. After the Symphonia, unfortunately, I don't have any recordings from my old life. None at all.
Do we really have time for this?
This recording comes from down the coast. Wasn't looking to record anything specific. Keep in mind, I have to slow this one down enough to make sounds well over 200 kilohertz audible to the human.
As the hum grows louder, modulating, but always unnaturally uncomfortable. Not good, not good. You're about to start suffocating. You have to stop. There's a growing sense of dread. The sound is coming from inside you. He nods to you, reassuringly. Just as more diverse, seabirds most likely, gulls and such.
And skewers, but...
A low range of sounds is easier to handle with a focal point, but still trouble.
You know, now that I've listened to it on these new speakers, it's not the Coldima Madakwa. Wrong patterns.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards.
Uncle.
There's no waking him from his...
Uncle. Uncle.
There's no waking him from...
The legend returns. You know the dance. Smokable smokes. Pissable pilsner. Sure, friend. You know it.
Don't mind old Rosemary here. He's a buffoon. Let's have a word after...
Hi. By amphetamine, I mean speed. Sure did, buddy boy. That's why I said amphetamine. I mean speed. I mean amphetamine. I got... Aye, that's what I said. Good, my man. Now what can I offer you? Oh, the system's been good to old Rosemary here, and I... You see, friend, man makes his own luck. And I made mine real good. Got my hands on... Bought cigarettes, bought beer, even bought a bit of speed. And look at me now. I got everyone on my hook. Of course. It is what it is, you know. What it's always been. People, buddy boy. It's the people. See, friend, it's real valuable. Worth every real, if you catch my drift. Got it from a bit of a business venture. You know what's crazy, actually? What?
Keep him talking.
This guy.
Conversation might bring a discount, no?
Sure. The spirits. Now.
Here's your chance.
Oh, aye. Exactly. I remember now. I remember what was so crazy. 3 real.
It's almost too easy. Haggling with incoherent drunks.
Just make sure to enjoy that one, friend. Here you go, friend.
That is unhygienic and dangerous, and it does not end.
Unhygienic. This stuff is very hygienic. Anything else?
Hello again. Sure, what's on your mind? But of course.
You see, a once bright mural tower. The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. The cover.
No, I won't even try. You know, I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I passed my shooting course.
His hands lead the way when it comes to that.
Yes, what is it? No? Yes. No, you're right. I'm not. The swallow, you mean? What about it? Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Strange things may flourish in the dark.
There's this place at the back of the church.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical. I know. No, I don't. Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the swallow. The offside copy you brought me helps, but you know what? It would be great. Thanks.
We're close. True, hard, full, hardcore. Yeah!
This young man adds a capital G before the H in him.
The Y to the E to the A to the A to the A to the A to the H. Yeah!
The mother of humanism stands above you.
We're close. True. Hardcore. Hardcore to the mega. Here comes the night. We're close. True. Hardcore. Hardcore to the internally coherent. Encore. All right. Yeah.
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces.
Hardcore. Ah.
Is it though?
One mind, one spirit, there's no other word. Oh, hey man, it's good to see you.
You close your eyes and drink.
But just imagine the moves you could pull to this futuristic beat.
Goodbye, officer. Yo, man. What's on your mind?
Aggressive, monotonous, but also somehow safe.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep me. No one. Just now is your turn, Mr. What a handle you got there. So many titles. One of me. Now is your turn, Mr. These things happen occasionally. Don't worry.
A man died at sea. What if I told you it is actually possible to go on a date sober? Before recorded history, men and women were able to do simple, very primitive things together sober.
I have, and I don't really.
You just want to go for a walk. What kind of a monster doesn't?
Just a walk? I don't know, officer. I would not have taken you for an innocent perambulator. Where would this walk take us, officer?
Nothing creepy, strange, or out there.
Officer, I thought we had a walk of our own in mind. One that results in a solved murder investigation.
Oh no. You, come with us. Seriously, Ines, you need to understand that nothing is going to happen.
Having the lieutenant along is a fail-safe measure against any possible funny business.
I guess I can come along for a quick stroll. I mean, if the man insists.
I do, yes. Stroll on the beach.
She doesn't wait for an answer. You better get ready. An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot.
It's military. A service depot. The washerwoman mentioned a depot up the coast. She said it was for moving ammo and cargo across the bay. This might be it.
The woman gazes.
Aye, so here you are. It's late and it's snow. Know that you're not the first guy to bring a girl to Land's End. This is what the locals call a make-out spot. That is not going to happen.
Across the rusty water, that's La Delta, the financial district. In the mist-covered distance, towers.
Drinking men aren't known for keeping their appointments. Aye, you're the starriest of them all. Here it comes.
So fast as to make it seem like the weather turns at her command.
Me? No, no, no. Just grew up on the sea. I knew the weather'd clear up once we got here. Otherwise, it would have been a less pleasant stroll, eh?
The remains of the dying sun are reflected in the waves and the skyscrapers rising across the bay. Your mind clears for a moment as your senses take it all in. Not just the glass skyscrapers, fragile looking.
Isn't it strange for this all-powerful thing, the sun, to be so generous towards us?
The sun also falls on the Capeside tenements and war-torn ruins. An old sea fortress juts out, seemingly impervious to the sheen cast over everything else. The sun does little for the dead, and those hopelessly lost in their own minds. Or people living in desert climates with sparse vegetation and little drinking water.
Now you're just nitpicking. But I concede. Maybe desert people sometimes disagree. Oh, that was a bit of pride and
a bit of conceptual unity too. It being yellow, the salt in the air, and the cries of the gulls and the skuas. Grit of the sand and the green glint of broken bottles. But still your gaze always returns to the dazzling streaks of light, wherever they may be.
It's bringing us spring, summer. It's entirely on our side, no matter what we do or who we are, for absolutely no reason. Aye, it's political. No need to step on a soapbox about it. What if we disagree?
See, she doesn't want to disagree. Good sign. Keep it at that.
Thank you. I'm half Ubi. My mother was from Ubi Sunt, not...
The wind ruffles her hair as she looks at the setting sun.
These aren't real fishhooks, silly. They're earrings shaped to look like fishhooks. A drunk called Rosemary brought them to me. I kept them.
The wind ruffles her hair as she...
I always do. I like it. It's like being on another planet. A water planet.
The lieutenant makes a show of glancing at his watch and tapping his foot.
Good one.
She thinks it was a riddle. She must not even know of that business. Better that...
It didn't suck. I'll, let you get back to your business now. Twins probably found a landmine by now.
Yes? What about me? No.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. Something is The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control.
Good.